Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Latin America Show. My name is Enrique Gelista, and it's a pleasure for me to be tonight with all of you, sharing this fantastic country that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Mexico. And of course, before that, I would like to ask you to share this program with all your friends, with all your family. So if you are watching us on Facebook, it's very easy. You just have to click here what it says compartir or share. It depends how you have, or I don't know, in French or in German, however you have, just share the program with all your family. They are maybe a lot of people that they are just wanted to know more about Latin America. In this particular show is going to be about Mexico. However, it's like, please also give us your commentaries, send us your messages. If you know someone who is interested to come to the show and they are from Latin America or they are linked with Latin America, it could be very interesting to know. So send us a message through Facebook. Also, follow us in all our social networks. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's very easy to find us. You just have to put the Latin America Show. If you subscribe to YouTube, you can watch all the different shows that we have performed before. And also, well, please put the bell there, subscribe and put the bell there in order that you know every time that we are uploading a new video. So before we start the show, I would like to introduce my amigos, my friends. It sounds weird saying my amigos, but well, my friends, mis amigos, Roger Alarcon.
Well, what's it, evening? Could we say evening? Maybe because it's getting dark now. We're starting the winter. So I'm happy to see you again this week. So we need to see some good news. So stay tuned.
Thank you very much, my dear Roger. And on the other side, we have, sorry, Roger, sorry. And on the other side of London, we have Whitney Nuchereno.
Hola a todos. Hello, everyone. I think it's safe to say good evening since it looks like it's about midnight outside here in London. Welcome to another program about Mexico. I'm looking forward to learning more with you about this beautiful country and teaching you something a little different this evening. So stay tuned.
Okay, well, that sounds nice. Let's see what Whitney is going to talk about. And well, of course, I would like to invite you not only for this show. I know that many of you, maybe you know about a typical celebration that we have in Mexico, the Day of the Dead. Maybe you remember this movie. It was a very good movie. It was James Bond, and it was situated and located in Mexico City in the celebration during the Day of the Dead. That is the 2nd of November. We celebrate the Dead of the Day, the 2nd of November. And the celebration is not about ghosts or about the spirit. Well, it's about the spirits, yeah, it could be, but it's not about witches or about wizards, monsters, that kind of things. It's not like Halloween. For us, the celebration is completely different. For us, is to celebrate our ancestors. Movies like, as we saw, James Bond, what is located and situated in Mexico City, The Day of the Dead, and also Coco, that is another movie that is from Pixar that is very good. And also that I strongly recommend you to watch it with your children, if you have children, or if not, with your family, and share with your friends, because they are talking about the complete story about what is the Day of the Dead. Of course, in the show that we're going to have, because, well, maybe you are thinking now, well, this guy is talking about the 2nd of November. It takes a long time. But, well, we have two important figures, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this. That is El Catrín and La Catrina, yeah? And normally, they are these skeletons, and of course, people, they paint their faces, the face painting, as a skeleton. And what I'm talking about all these things, okay, because in the Latin America show, one of the things that we believe is that, well, in order that you learn more about our culture and you be part of our culture, you have to live our culture. So we have prepared a special show that is going to be a fantastic one where we're going to explain you everything about the Day of the Dead. And of course, how we are celebrating all our ancestors, people that they are not here, that they already dead, and people that, well, we are not forgetting them, and we are with them all the time. So that is a special festivity that we have in Mexico. So in the Latin America show, we have prepared the 27th. We're going to start a contest with all of you. And what is the contest about? Well, the contest is going to be a picture. And well, I'm telling you in advance in order that you can buy the different stuff. So between the 27th of October till the 2nd of November, you have the opportunity to take your picture with this kind of outfit or face painting as El Catrín or La Catrina. We're going to put all the information in order that you know more about who they are and you can have more background about it in the Latin America show page. However, it's important to know that, well, we're going to have prizes. So you can paint your face, you can, I don't know, dress an outfit regarding to La Catrina or El Catrín. And what are we expecting? Is that, well, you can take an original picture. It could be an original outfit or an outstanding makeup that you can do, or maybe in different places or in different strike a pose in a different ways, or maybe with your dog or with your siblings or with your daughter, with your children, with your sons, with whoever you want. So you have to post the picture on the Latin American show Facebook page. And of course, the winners, we are going to have a contest, and you, the audience, because for us, the audience is very important. You are going to vote to know who is the winner. And we're going to put all the pictures during the show, the 3rd of November, that is the Tuesday. And that day, we are going to choose who is going to be the winner. And I'm saying we are going to choose because you are going to be part of it. So you can invite your friends. We're going to send you an invite. We're going to create like an event in order that you can know more about this. But well, that's the main reason why we're talking about El Catrina, La Catrina. So please keep in mind, if you have to buy makeup, you have enough time to go to Amazon or go to the different stores, buy some makeup, make a research, think about how you're going to, what kind of outfit you're going to use. It could be like a wrestling, but with a face painting of La Catrina or del Catrín or La Catrina, or I don't know, it could be a very nice dress, a very nice outfit. Normally they are very proper and they are wearing like a tie, etc. But well, this time you can do whatever you want, but it has to be related with El Catrín or La Catrina. So if you're going to celebrate Halloween, maybe it's a good outfit that you can use. Take that picture that day and upload it. It's very easy to participate with us. You just only have to give us a like and post your picture, and it's going to be easy. Whitney, I don't know if I explained myself because I wanted to say a lot of things.
No.
Hopefully people, they understood me.
No, you said perfectly. I just had a question that the audience might have. Who can participate, Enrique?
Everybody can participate, and that's the main reason. We are trying that, well, that everybody feel engaged. People, it doesn't matter the nationality. You can come and you can just also, if you want to make a research, maybe you, Whitney, or Roger in the commentary section, you can put El Catrina, La Catrina, just the names in order that people, they know exactly what are they. And of course, to make a research, but everybody can participate. As I said, you can participate with your dog, with your cat, with your feral, with whoever you want. So it doesn't matter, your son, your daughter, everybody, with your granny, it doesn't matter. And this is the main reason that, well, in the Latin America show, we want that you live this experience with us. And of course, as I told you, there are going to be prizes for the winners. So please follow us and you are going to have more information about how to participate. Yeah, so you have enough time, but we are going to remind you every show here, the 27th, we are going to explain exactly what is the Day of the Dead. And later on, well, the 3rd of November, we are going to make this contest and you are going to vote. So invite your friends because, well, people who have more votes is going to be the winner. So invite us to watch us. So, well, as we were saying, well, and if you saw the reel, well, we have fantastic guests tonight. And we are going to talk about the Mexican Chamber of Commerce. We're going to talk about successful woman, entrepreneur woman, that she's a dentist, but she has like a fantastic, how you call it? It's not a GP, it's, how you call this? The dentistry, well, whatever it is. So, well, she has won a lot of prizes, and now I'm still thinking in the Catrina, La Catrina, and also how I'm going to dress myself. And also, we're going to talk about a fantastic place in Mexico, Riviera Nayarit. So don't miss the show. Share this video with more of your friends. And I think so we can start like, well, talking a little bit about business and talking about the relationship and the different kind of business that we have between Mexico and Mexicans and the UK. So, well, I would like to say thank you very much and to welcome Gabriel Anguiano. He is the chairman of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce. Hello, Gabriel. How are you?
Hola, Enrique. Hello. How are you? All good? Happy to
All-
see you, even if it's on the screen.
Yeah, well, yes, I know they are difficult times. And yes, I know that, well, you are a person that normally you're very involved and engaged with the Latin American community and also with the Mexican community. And now as a chairman of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of work now.
Well, we're all very busy adapting. I've been chairman since the middle of last year, but the chamber has been running for much longer. And I think what makes the chamber interesting is the people that are involved participate in one way or another, whether it's members, whether it's proposing ideas, events.
And just to start with that, Gabriel, it would be interesting that if you can tell us a little bit about the history of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce here in the UK, and also the main duties, because, well, maybe there are people there that would like to know exactly what are you doing in the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, and also maybe they want to be engaged, or maybe they are thinking about set up a business or setting up a relationship between entrepreneurs in Mexico and here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the chamber was set up. You've caught me out on the detail, that the exact number of years. I think it was about 7-8 years ago, and it was set up by a group of Mexican professionals and entrepreneurs, but also from other countries with an interest in Mexico. And it was set up really to represent the voice of the Mexican private sector in the UK, and to represent Mexican entrepreneurs in the UK. So I think it's mainly a meeting point where members can do business with each other. They can also foster the relationship between Mexico and the UK by promoting their industry. We all have different industry expertise. Well, what we invite anybody who has an interest in developing a business here, whether they're Mexican or British, and they have a link or an interest in Mexico, to get to approach the chamber. We've got members of all sorts of members. You know, a lot of them are entrepreneurs, like Gina, whom you're going to interview. She's in the healthcare sector. We've got people in the food and drink sector. We've got experts providing. Oh, let me just go back to. Can you see me there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see you.
Se desapareció.
Well, that's
Can you see me,
something
Enrique?
that happened normally in the live shows, but, well, it doesn't matter. So, well, like, don't worry, we can see you, Gabriel. No problem.
Te podemos ver, no te preocupes, te podemos
Here we
ver.
are. Here we are. So you come, yeah. So we've got from entrepreneurs and professionals providing their professional advice to large companies in aviation, banks, materials, oil and gas, who are all part of this community.
And what are the main, of course, well, what are the main goals from the Mexican Chamber of Commerce in order to, well, for example, for this year, what are you looking for?
Well, obviously, this year has been a year of keeping the momentum going despite the difficulties. So what we have is a number of events. Some of them repeat themselves, are repeated every year. For example, we've got an event coming up. One of the main events in November is the Lex Mex event. It's more for the legal profession. That's been going on for a number of years. And we always bring high-level speakers from Mexico to explain the legal environment in Mexico with British counterparts. That's always very useful for anybody from the UK who wants to set up business in Mexico. We've got coming up, and let me read you a number of events. We've got a webinar coming up on the topic of sustainability, and that's being organized with other chambers, Latin American chambers, Argentina, Colombia. We've got another webinar with a man called Juan Carlos Fernandez. He's going to be talking about branding. So this is what the chamber offers. You know, members can join in, and non-members as well, and learn from the experience of an expert in branding. Then we've got on 16th and the 20th of November, there's a forum of Mexican entrepreneurs who are based outside Mexico, and the idea is to keep alive the entrepreneurial spirit amongst Mexicans in the UK. And as a result of that, also a long-term goal is to increase the exchange of trade and services and goods between Mexico and the UK. But from the private sector perspective, we're not government. We think the private sector has a big role to play. And probably I didn't answer half of your questions, but that's okay.
That's okay. I have a quick question actually for you, Gabriel. I work with students. It's kind of, my job during the day. And I know that sometimes some Chamber of Commerce, they offer like mentors or like mentorships or internships so they can educate youths. Do you offer any form of that so that the younger generations can start to learn more about this wonderful work that you're doing?
Yeah, we haven't actually structured a mentorship program. That's a fantastic idea. Obviously, most of the directors who are in the chamber, and including myself, we actually have a day job. We work for different companies, and sometimes we bring that network to the chamber, and sometimes maybe those mentoring opportunities are with members of the chamber, not necessarily in the chamber. But sometimes we have students working with the chamber, collaborating, and that's been going on for a number of years. People who like to fine-tune their expertise in event management or in a particular topic. So I think they can always approach us. Elisa Bucay is running with that day-to-day. She's more involved with the day-to-day running. Before it used to be Milen, you'll know Milen very well. But right now she's engaged with other of her own projects. So we do have a history of that, but maybe we need to structure it a bit more. That's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
Maybe we can start with you as a mentor for.
No, but I have lots of young people I'm sure who would want to get involved. So just give me the info and I'll give you a list.
You see, that is the entrepreneur way that, of course, while you.
Some comments over here, yeah.
Yeah, find someone else to do it.
Perfect. I think.
Well, and
pros. So, Roger, do you have a question?
Yeah, I've had a question, Gabriel. Well, tell us what is the easiest way just to reach the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, the people, the entrepreneurs, the people who is thinking, oh, I want to do some business. How they can contact you?
Well, obviously, we're all reachable. We all have names and telephones and emails, and we're always there. But the best way to participate in what the network offers is to become a member. And this is where my advertisement begins. I think if you become a member, you're participating, you're contributing and receiving a lot. So that's the best way to meet other members, to learn from them, but also to share your expertise with them, and maybe even to sell your services amongst the membership base. That's the best way.
And how? Tell me, how become a member? What is as a British person, what they need to do exactly?
Well,
just contact you.
We've got a website, the contact Elisa Bucay. We have different levels of memberships. Of course, it's very different if you're a sole practitioner, an individual, or if you're a very large international conglomerate. We have different memberships for everybody, and the idea is that obviously the chamber has to sustain itself with membership fees, but some of our members, sometimes what they do is not only do they do a combination of contributing with a membership, but also with their expertise. So there are different ways to become members. I think we're open to hearing each proposal, but generally, this, like many other chambers, it runs on a membership basis where members join for an annual fee. And then they get benefits. They get discount prices for events. They get all sorts of things. So I think the easiest way is just to email Elisa Bucay, who runs the day-to-day the running of the chamber, and approach her. It's a very easy program to remember. Very easy.
So I think so it's actually a very easy way that, well, you can be engaged, and also with all these kind of different kind of webinars and different kind of activities that you're participating, people they can involve. And also I think so it's something that is very important for a lot of people is to create this network as you were talking about, in order to know more people and also to find if someone is interested maybe in their ideas or in their projects, in order that maybe they can be successful and they can launch a new business.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're launching a new business, when you're an entrepreneur, one of the best things you can be doing is engaging in networking, which can lead to concrete business opportunities. But along the way, other ways to get engaged is if you're an expert in a given field. You don't have to wait for a seminar or a webinar on that field to appear. You can propose it to us, and maybe you can run with it. You can run and you can find the speakers, and we'll help you set it up. Or we'll set it up for you if you give us some guidance on your area of expertise. You know, we may not have a member who's an expert in shrimp farming, for example, but that could be a topic we can run a webinar on if we're of interest. If a member wanted to propose that.
And also it's like I have seen that, well, also there are a lot of cultural activities that, well, the Mexican Chamber of Commerce is involved, and also the part of charity.
Yeah, we get involved in that. We tend to do that in collaboration, whether it's with other chambers, sometimes with the Mexican embassy as well, or with the other associations, like the more recent event, which was virtual for the 15 de septiembre. So the key word is collaboration. We've got lots of strategic alliances. For example, you have a few names, the Fundación UNAM. We've got alliances with other business chambers, with educational foundations. So it's a mix, a broad range of opportunities to have cultural events and propose new ones we like.
So actually, if people they are interested to know more about what the Mexican Chamber of Commerce they are doing, we already put the link here in our commentary section, in order that, well, maybe they can click there just to know more. And as you said, Gabriel, if someone is wants to be part of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, or they would like it, they can submit all the information in order that they can receive an email, and also that you can track what are the different initiatives that maybe they have, or what kind of information if they want to be supporters, or if they want to do any other activities related with the relationship.
Absolutely. You described it very well.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I made my homework, so I have to study about it. So yes. So, and exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, that one. So and another thing is that, well, it's like one of our guests that, well, we are going to talk also with her is another person that, well, she is involved with the Mexican Chamber of Commerce, as you said. But also she is an entrepreneur, and she has been very successful in all this kind of healthcare. And I would like to say hello to our friend Gina Vega.
Hi everybody. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you very much for being here, Gina. So, well, it's like one of the things that, well, in the Latin America show we are doing is like, well, we're trying to engage people, and that people that they are not Latinos or people here from the UK, they know more about our culture. And the best way to know more about the best way to learn more about our culture is knowing about their people, or the people that we live in Latin America, or what we are Latinos. I know that you are here in the UK, you are here in London, but also I think it could be a very good experience because, well, another thing that we are doing in this show is just to eliminate this kind of, to remove all these kind of stereotypes about this kind of Hollywood stories that they are doing, that they are not very useful, and also they are putting all the Latinos not in a very good position. So we are trying to bring here to the Latin America show the best, and well, not only the best, the people, the real Latin America people. And that is one of the experiences that we would like to share with the audience about all your experience here in the UK and how difficult it was, but although at the same time, we know that you have won a lot of different awards during your career, and also that, well, you are just like as I said before, the dentistry of the celebrities.
The dentist of the stars.
Of the stars, yeah, exactly. Yes, the dentist of the stars.
Well, I am a dentist. So when I came to the UK 19 years ago, I had to give up my dental career in Mexico because obviously over here I was not able to work as a dentist. So since I was a very little girl, I always wanted to be a dentist. So I was not going to give my dream away that easily. So I decided to requalify in the UK. The main thing was to, first of all, that English was not my first language. Even though I learned it in school, I was not really very fluent on it. And having to study the whole dentistry subjects, anatomy, biology, all those things in English was a real struggle. But I managed to do that. And in 2004, I requalified here in the UK and I was free to work as a dentist. So as you said, it has not been easy. It has been a challenge. First of all, the language, and also having to compete with so many dentists for one job, for example, as I'm sure the majority of the people that are listening or seeing your program, they know that finding a dentist may be a little bit of a struggle. The NHS lists are very, busy, and they don't necessarily take you as an NHS patient. So the jobs are also quite competitive, or they used to be competitive. And if they used to be competitive then, now is even more competitive. So in 2010, I decided to open my practice. And as you said, we've been very fortunate to be a multi-award winning dental practice in the City of London.
And also, it's like, and here's like, I have a question for you because, well, it's like you said that, well, since you were a child, you wanted to be a dentist. So since you were a child, you like to torture people and everything to make them suffering. So you were like this kind of evil child.
Well, I don't know why. I just loved going to the dentist, and I like in particular the smell of the dental materials that I know now is clove oil, because some dental materials use clove oil, and I love that smell. So yeah, no, I think I want to think that I became a dentist to make good, to help patients rather than to make them suffer, really.
No, I completely agree with that, and of course, yeah, we know that. Well, it's like as you said. Well, one of the challenges that a lot of people, a lot of professionals we have in our careers is that, well, once you're arriving here, all your studies they are not recognized here in the UK, and you have to start from scratch. How many years of experience did you have when you finished in Mexico, and how many years of experience you had in Mexico when you moved to the UK? So it's like, if we kind of say how many years you lost, if you want to say, in order to start again.
Well, I had probably about 3 years of experience in Mexico, and then it took me 2.5 years to revalidate my qualification. So yes, I was quite behind on the progress that my friends were doing in Mexico, my colleagues in Mexico. They were already, achieving things in the dental professions, whereas I was not. So yeah, it was hard. I was working as a dental nurse. I worked as a dental nurse for 2.5 years. Why? Because I couldn't be away from dentistry. I loved it so much. And in my opinion, I think it's the best thing that I could have ever done, because first of all, I saw dentistry from the other side, as the nurses see it, and how hard work they do. And on the other hand, I obviously understand how dentistry work here in the UK. So it was beneficial for me all around, really.
And well, later on, well, you start up your business, and of course, well, you have to learn not only the dentist part or the dentistry part, you have to start learning how to become an entrepreneur in the UK. How difficult was that part for you?
It was really difficult. The first experience that I had with solicitors trying to buy a dental practice was a big eye-opener. I didn't have a clue of the amount of paperwork, the amount of things that you need to do in order to check that everything is as the person selling you the business it actually is. So it was really hard. So once that was behind, I unfortunately find out that the practice that I just bought was in the verge of bankruptcy. So I had to work very hard in order to change around many things, saying to patients, you know, we are under a new administration, trying to change the bankruptcy state of the practice. And that was really, really challenging. It took me probably about 3 or 4 years. My first 3 or 4 years, I was really struggling with red numbers and black numbers, you know, with trying to learn how to be a good boss, how to do accounts, how to do so many things on top of being a dentist, caring for my patients, on top of being a mom, having 2 children, a husband, a house, you know, it was really challenging. But now that I look back, it's almost going to be 10 years. Actually, in the middle of this month, it will be my 10th year anniversary of being the owner of Bishopsgate Dental Care. And I am very proud to say it was worth it. You know, it was really hard work, but it was really worth it.
Gina, speaking about your, I guess, challenges, since you brought that up, what is some advice you would give to like women who are starting their own business or take on some form of leadership role, both like prospective and current women in these positions, so that they can be successful?
Well, it's perseverance. You have to persevere. I think one of the most important things is that you do need to understand what are your limitations. You need to surround yourself with a good team, a team that is going to complete you, delegate, you know, you cannot do it all. It's not a one-man band. Even at the beginning, obviously, as a dental practice, you need to have a receptionist, you need to have a nurse, and myself, it was 3 people. But outside that, I had a very good nanny to take care of my children, for example. And as the business is growing, you need to start delegating, you need to start finding that team that is going to work together for the same purpose. And the same purpose is, in my case, that we give the best patient experience to my patients, to our patients, but also at the same time build a successful business. We all have good attributes. We are all very good at some things, but not at everything. And that, I think, is the main thing, is having a good team.
I love that. Thank you. That's very helpful.
And also, Gina, well, I don't remember, but well, I would like that you tell us a little bit about, I don't remember if it was last year or the previous one, that you basically took all the awards possible, yeah, about a business, about dentistry, about everything. So I don't know if you can tell us a little bit, because I remember that pictures, and I remember all these awards that you were like, also you need like another hands to hold them, because it was like completely you full of awards. But as you said, it's because of the experience, it's because you are taking care of the customer, because of course, with this kind of Latino customer service, if you want to say that, we are very engaged, and we know that actually going to the dentist is not the best experience for most of us. So it's like how to do it like softly. But well, tell us a little bit about all that awards that you got, which kind of awards they were, and how important they are.
Well, my first lock I thought it was when the Mexican Chamber of Commerce awarded me with the Mexican Entrepreneur of the Year in 2018. And I was not expecting this award, so it was a big surprise. I felt very, very honored about it. Then the same year, 2018, I was shortlisted as a finalist in dental awards that are called the Aesthetic Dentistry Awards. So the Aesthetic Dentistry Awards is not about an entrepreneur, it's about how the quality of your work is in aesthetics. What changes do you do for the smiles and so on? So that was also very lovely to be shortlisted for that. And then in 2019, we entered we actually entered 3 different awards, dentistry awards, the private dental awards, and the dental awards. They all sound obviously very similar, but they are completely 3 different awards. And we were very fortunate. We entered 3 categories. There was Best Dental Practice in London, Best Dental Team, and then Best Patient Care. And we were so fortunate that in one of the awards, we won Best Practice. In the other ceremony, we won Best Patient Care. And in the other one, we won Best Dental Team. So yeah, I took them all. And I was very happy because through the years, we have really worked very well as a team. So it's not my success, it's my team's success.
Yeah, and actually something that you said that, well, it's like you have been 10 years with this business. So it could be just to be persistent and to continue doing, improving, looking, and of course, creating a good team that can support you, and also that they can also merge with the kind of values that you are trying to, just to spread into the team in order that they can just do exactly the same things with the customer experience that they are looking for. But later on, as we just saw some pictures, you become like as you said, the dentist of the stars.
Yes, it just happened with one patient. We just basically, he was introduced to me, and we just started chatting about his smile, and he said, well, actually, I would love to come and see you. And I'm like, well, yeah, why not? And then I think still believe he's still in the cast of Made in Chelsea. That is quite a popular program here in the UK TV. And James Taylor, and he basically, little by little, a few of the cast members of Made in Chelsea came to see us. So yes, there are a few. I also have a lady from that was from Love Island that now is doing amazing work. She's an athlete, and she's doing great work with the Olympics, the committee. And then also another pop star that is quite big actually at the moment within the millennials, that is called Talia Stone. So yes, little by little, nowadays I'm also having a lot of interest on people that had big Instagram accounts with, one of them maybe about 500,000 followers. So that also is good for the business, because publicity is publicity, and that's good.
I've got a question for you, Gina. I know we've been talking about you being done several years in Mexico, then several years here in the UK. Your entire career is 10 years.
Yeah.
As a woman entrepreneur, how you see the British people, the British audience which listen to us? Have you noticed any change to approach to you from when you start and now?
No, I just to correct you, I've been a dentist for 20 years.
Well, yeah, we have been 10 years here.
In Bishopsgate, yeah. Not at all. I've been very, very fortunate that from the very beginning, everybody, no matter the nationality. I have patients from all over the world that come from all over the world. And even when I was looking for a job, when I first requalified, I found that I went for 7 interviews and I actually got 7 job offers. So, and this was as a Mexican coming to England. And for me, it was a big eye opener, because also you kind of think, are they going to discriminate me because I don't speak very well English, or because I don't look like them, or because maybe I'm not as well prepared they may think. Of course I was, but you know, people may think that. But no, I have always been very welcome. I have never ever had any discrimination in any way in my profession.
And obviously you're so successful, being obviously, as Enrique said, that putting that Latino feeling, that Latino, all Latin Americans we have to embrace and give. We are friendly. We give the extra mile for anything. Obviously, they pay on your career with all these awards.
Yes, well, I think I want to believe that I'm still true to my ethics, and is that I want my patients to have the best care possible. So I think people can see through that. I hope. And so yes, I think is if you stay true to your values, that should be a good thing to do.
Also, another thing that I think so, Gina, is like I know you, and well, I know that well you are very engaged also with the community, and also you're supporting different charity events, and you have promoting maybe different kind of campaigns. But well, I know that you are a strongly promoter of campaigns. It could be in Mexico, it could be here, and also I know that you have engaged your son in order that well he becomes part of this, and also he has done many things at his school because he has promoting the same one, and he got well, I think so he collected a good amount of money for one of the charities like 1 or 2 years ago. But well, it's something good, and it's something that well I think so we can feel like very proud that well is you are sharing not only the Latin American spirit in a way that say that well in a business way, also in the charity, and also knowing that you're promoting these kind of values, how to support people in different countries and in different situations.
Yes, I first of all, as a mother, I think is very important to show these values to your children, but also because I believe that you have to share your success, and if I have a voice, if I have a community, my patients, my network can help a charity, why not? So yeah, we have supported a few charities in Mexico. We also with my son, he raised some money after the earthquake. I think it's 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I can't
2017
remember.
I think so.
Yeah, exactly that
Yeah.
one. Then we also have a charity close to the practice that helps homeless people get on their feet. So we try, to be honest, this year has been quite hard for every business, I think. So this year we haven't done any charity work, but it's something that is part of the ethos of the practice for sure, and of mine and my family.
Well, and here I have some messages that well, for example, Annalise is saying, super inspiring, Gina, thank you for sharing your journey to success. Well, it's like, I think so, yes, and I think you're a very good example, Gina. And well, of course, thank you very much for being here. Please don't go, because well, now we have Polo, that well, Polo is going to tell us a little bit about La Riviera Nayarit, that is a paradise in the Pacific coast in Mexico that we can enjoy. But thank you very much, Gina. Stay here. I know that Gabriel is somewhere there, so well, it doesn't matter. But well, it's like, I think so we have a video, my dear Roger, that you want to share with us.
treasure with a natural diversity that stirs the emotions. Where you'll discover a beach hidden beneath the earth. A place where our culture is revealed through color. Where flavors and aromas scent the air. An exclusive treasure where you can play green in the middle of the ocean. Where adventure is just the beginning. And you, how far do you want to go? Riviera Nayarit, Mexico's Pacific treasure.
Well, obviously, yes, it's a treasure there. And of course, well, we want to welcome Polo Sanchez Valle. Hello, Polo, how are you? You are in Mexico
Hello.
now.
Yeah, I am in Mexico. I'm not in the Riviera Nayarit, unfortunately, but I'm in Mexico City, yes.
Yeah,
Hello,
well,
Enrique, Whitney, Roger.
we can see the fantastic background that you have there. So, well,
Yes,
it's like
well, I wish I could be there. Riviera Nayarit. That's Punta de Mita. We will speak about it. Yeah.
So, well, we have watched an extraordinary video that, well, of course, you sent us in order that we could share with the audience, because I think so. Riviera Nayarit, it's interesting because, well, we know that people here in the UK and worldwide, well, I think so. Cancun, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos, they are very popular. That, well, people they know. But I think so. Riviera Nayarit, that is in the Pacific coast of Mexico, they have a lot of things to offer us, and I think it's a fantastic destination.
It is, yes. So Riviera Nayarit actually is one of Mexico's newest tourist destinations. We are indeed located on the Pacific coast, so that is on the west coast of Mexico. We are right in the middle of the very long Pacific coast of Mexico, right in the middle of that very long coastline. We are roughly located at the same latitude as Hawaii or Thailand, so that can give you already a clue of how the destination looks like. We are very, very long coastline, 300-kilometer long coastline. So it's a very long tourist destination that goes from right in the north of Puerto Vallarta, which is our neighboring tourist destination, very popular as well. We are right in the north. You cross the river Ameca River, and then 300 kilometers up to the state of Sinaloa. So it's all the coastline of the Nayarit state, which is a beautiful state in Mexico.
How many do you have an idea? Maybe I'm going to put you in a trouble now. Do you know how many kilometers they are,
yes,
like the Riviera Nayarit of coast?
So it's 300 kilometers. That's more or less twice the size of the length of the French Riviera, to give you an idea. So the French Riviera goes from Italy to almost Marseille, a little bit before. So it's twice the size of that area. So it's very long, very diverse destination. We actually have 23 micro destinations, we call, so 23 different places to stay and to visit. So it's a very diverse destination. It goes from everything from small, very authentic Mexican towns, like the town of Sayulita, that is a surfing paradise, this town of San Pancho as well, that is very well known, very popular for turtle hatching and very natural place, very interesting. Other places like Nuevo Vallarta, which is this very modern area that is located just right next to Puerto Vallarta, 20 minutes drive from Puerto Vallarta, right next to the airport. Other very notorious places like Punta de Mita, which is one of Mexico's most exclusive tourist areas. But then if you go north, further north, about an hour away from Puerto Vallarta, you have amazing places like the town of San Blas, for example, which is a paradise for bird watchers, nature lovers. It's kind of the Amazons of Mexico. Very, very biodiverse, with very beautiful islands. We have an island there called Isla Isabel, which is kind of the Galapagos of Mexico. So yeah, very diverse destination, a lot of different activities, a lot of beautiful places to visit.
And also just that people, they have an idea how they can arrive to Riviera Nayarit, because, well, it's like how do they have to travel? How far is from Mexico City? Do they have to take an airplane? Do they have to go, I don't know, like a road trip? How far is this?
Yes. So from the UK, so how far it is? So basically, it's on the west coast of Mexico. So from the UK, many different options. You can get there. Since 2014, we have had direct connectivity from the UK, from London Gatwick and from Manchester with TUI, the Thomson Airlines. So it's very easy to get there. Direct flights into Puerto Vallarta's airport, and then 20 minutes up to the first parts of the Riviera Nayarit, and then obviously you can just get there by the road into any place that you want to get there. You can also get there through Mexico City, of course, with Aeromexico or with British Airways, very speedy connections in Terminal 2 in Mexico City or Terminal 1 with British Airways. But another very interesting option is through any of the hubs in the US or in Canada. We are in Puerto Vallarta's airport. It's one of the busiest airports in Mexico, the most connected airport, especially in the winter. So it's an ideal airport to get into Puerto Vallarta and then on the road into Riviera Nayarit. And then on the road, if you decide to do a road trip in Mexico, so we're located about 3 hours drive from Guadalajara, which is in the neighboring state of Jalisco, which is a very big city. And then within the Riviera Nayarit, very easy to drive, just one ride that goes up and down the state, and it's really, really easy to self-drive as well if you want to. So yeah, many options, very, very reachable, very easy to get to.
And Polo, talking about what are the different options at Riviera Nayarit? Because, well, I remember when we had this conversation before, we were talking like, well, we can split into the Riviera Nayarit. The part that is like the most popular one, and the north part that maybe it's a little bit virgin, and it's a little bit like for people that they are looking at different kind of experience, because one is fully of resorts, if we want to say it in that way. Well, not fully, but well, we have some. Yeah, I saw your face. Yeah, well, not fully, but we have resorts. But the other one, it's more like a different experience. What kind of experience people they can enjoy in all these Riviera Nayarit?
Yes. So basically, yes, as you said, Riviera Nayarit could be divided in two big parts. So the southern part, which is the part that is closer to the airport, it's still a 100-kilometer coastline. That is the area that has probably that is the closest to Puerto Vallarta and to the airport. We are a low-density destination. That's important to say. So even the areas that are closer to the airport, which is Nuevo Vallarta, is very low density. So that's a little bit more, the infrastructure is a little bit bigger, so more resorts. We have a lot of 4- and 5-star, all-inclusive, very contemporary resorts in the southern parts, so in Nuevo Vallarta, Flamingos, that you can see on the screen. And then you have all this area there in Bucerías and La Cruz de Guanacaste. It's a little towns with very, I would say, very authentic feeling. We have you know, a lot of local life there, a lot of very immersive kind of tourism there, also very low density with a lot of activities, and then go on to other places like Sayulita that I mentioned before, which are very small towns, very pretty. It's one of the magical towns of Mexico. So that's the kind of the areas in the south. So all the video that you've seen is in the southern parts of Riviera Nayarit. And then if you decide to adventure to the northern parts of Riviera Nayarit, as you said, it's a little bit more remote, still very reachable, but then you have those areas that are definitely areas to be discovered. So a lot of wetlands, a lot of islands, a lot of bird watching, kind of jungle style places like San Blas, La Tobara, the Matanchen Bay, which is a beautiful bay in the northern part of the Riviera Nayarit. So yeah, basically Riviera Nayarit is a place for everyone, you know, whether you go with your family, you go for bird watching, for exploring, romance, etc. It's really a very diverse destination.
Also, if people they are interested, for example, as we watch in the video, if people they are interested to see all these whales and this part of nature, what is the best season that they can go and they can enjoy this kind of experience? Because this is not all over the year.
Yeah, definitely. So basically in the Riviera Nayarit, as well as in the rest of Mexico, we have two different seasons, basically. We have the wet season, which is in the summer. So we are in the northern hemisphere, so the summer is the same time as in Europe. And then we have the dry season, which is in the winter time, so December to February. In Riviera Nayarit, I would say that the winter season is very popular for international travelers because of the whales, as you mentioned, and a lot of people who come here for kind of winter sun holidays. So the whales come from the month of November till March, April, maybe. So that's a very popular activity. And so, as I said, the destination is very popular for international tourism in that time. And then the summer, of course, we have a little bit of, it's a hotter weather. It's a little bit wetter. So there could be tropical rain, but it's always at the same time, always at exactly the same time. So that gives you the opportunity to plan your day around. And the destination is also greener and lusher. So I think it's also very beautiful to see. I didn't mention at the beginning, but we are a very distinctive destination in Mexico because of the mountain that we have, the Sierra Madre mountain that we have behind us. So it's very beautiful, very lush, and very kind of different to what European travelers are used to in Mexico, you know, striking landscapes with beautiful mountain and then beautiful ocean bays, small bays, and then long beaches, and as you can see in the video. So it's an all year round destination.
Well, that one I think is a fantastic one. Isla Marietas, no? That well is something that is like just stunning being there. Have you been there?
Yes, that is one of the islands that we have in the area. That is a UNESCO protected biosphere. So I'm very happy to say that since a few years ago, the area is protected. So only 30 people can go into that secret island that you can see there at a time, and only 100, 120 people per day. So it's very restricted, but still very accessible. It is very beautiful. So that's very popular for combined trips between doing that and then whale watching, of course. So very beautiful. It's one of the islands that we have there. There are many, many others as well. But this is very striking because very unusual.
And where is that green that we saw that well in an island? Where is that one? So, it looks amazing also.
Yes, so Riviera Nayarit is, we have 8 golf courses in the area, so it's very popular for golfing. It's one of the most popular destinations in Mexico for golfing. And that green that you saw is a green that is located in an area called Punta de Mita. Punta de Mita in Mexico and in North America is by itself a destination within the Riviera Nayarit, of course. It is a synonym of very exclusive accommodations, very secluded peninsula, very beautiful. And that green is located in there, in Punta de Mita. So that's roughly, I would say, 40 minutes from Puerto Vallarta, and kind of in that peninsula that we saw in the previous map. So it's the only green in the ocean in the world. So very nice.
And Polo is well, and talking about the Riviera Nayarit and everything is like talking about food, gastronomy. What can you tell us about food? Because I think it's something that, well, I don't like to talk a lot about gastronomy when I'm here in the UK and we're talking about Mexico, because me as a Mexican, it's like I'm start drooling when people they start telling me about this delicious food that we have there, and also, or it's coming to my mind some of the dishes that I really like. But tell us a little bit what kind of gastronomy people they can try in that area.
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, Enrique, I don't know what you guys think, but I think in general, the food of the Pacific coast, in general, not only Riviera Nayarit, but the Pacific coast gastronomy in Mexico is the best Mexican food. The seafood and the ceviches, and to me, it's the best. And in particular, Riviera Nayarit, I think, is one of the best of that. So the state of Nayarit, basically the economy of the state of Nayarit is based on agriculture, fishing, and tourism. So that means that the tourists that go to the state of Nayarit, to the Riviera Nayarit, can enjoy the produce, the very fresh produce that come from the mountain because of the agriculture, and then obviously the fish that comes from the sea. So yeah, it's an extraordinary place to go for gastronomy. Some examples could be, for example, pescado zarandeado, which is typical of the Riviera Nayarit, which is kind of a grilled fish with some spices, very, very beautiful, very nice. Oyster sopes, which is quite unusual as well, so it's really, really good. A lot of all sorts of, because we're not far from the state of Sinaloa, the aguachiles, which is this type of ceviche, but based on lime and with chili, of course. So yeah, a lot of pineapples, a lot of lychees, very fresh, low carbon kind of impact food. So yeah, beautiful. And especially we have a lot of course, high-end outlets, food outlets, but I have to say that when I've been there, the best food is obviously, as in general in Mexico, the street food. So you get a lot of markets. For example, in La Cruz de Guanacaste, a very nice market where fishermen come every morning, and then you can just go and source your fish. And then, you know, street tacos in bucerias or in Punta de Mita. So yeah, extraordinary food in general in the Pacific coast, but in particular here.
And actually, well, now that you were talking about the aguachile, I think so it's one of my favorites, to be honest. Yeah, I know that it's very popular in Sinaloa also, but yes, it's one of my favorites. And also, I think so in that part of the Pacific Ocean is very popular, the marlin, you know, or like, well, the swordfish, you know?
Yes, it is, yes. So that's, I think it's more kind of in the Sea of Cortez, which is kind of the Baja California Peninsula. But Riviera Nayarit is kind of in the entrance of the Sea of Cortez. If you see a map, we are kind of the, I don't know how to say it, I think in English is the mouth of the, well, the mouth of the river, but this is like the mouth of the Sea of Cortez. Maybe yeah. Whitney knows the word, but we're kind of the entrance or the exit of that sea.
I have a follow-up question, and you might have already answered it. I know you're talking about really good dishes. What are your personal favorites? Like if someone came and they had like a few days in Mexico, what do they have to try before they leave, especially that area? Whether it's street food or plates or like in a restaurant or what?
Without a doubt, I would say that my favorite food is seafood, in particular the Pacific Coast seafood, which is very lemon-like. And actually it's funny because it's probably a food that is not exported that much. So in the mind of foreigners, Mexican food is more like corn-based kind of earth food, or I don't know, pork or whatever. And seafood, I think, is not. It doesn't have the place that should have internationally. So I think aguachile probably is a very popular thing that I like. I like all sorts of seafood tacos, whether it's fish tacos or prawn tacos. I'm not a fan of oysters personally, but yeah, probably lobster. And actually, Riviera Nayarit, I forgot, lobster is one of the main things. How could I have forgotten that? Lobster is everywhere, especially around the northern parts of Riviera Nayarit.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And Polo, I've got a question. Obviously, you're talking about this amazing site in Mexico, but tell us a little bit about you as an entrepreneur, how long it takes you to doing all this knowledge. What have you done in your career?
Well, so basically what I do, so I have a small marketing agency and PR agency based in London, and my mission is to help Mexican tourist destinations and Mexican tourist suppliers, so that's hotels or tour operators, to promote their destinations or their hotels in Europe. So that means, you know, a lot of trade marketing. So being in contact with the tour operators that will distribute the packages, the travel to Mexico. So yeah, so Riviera Nayarit is one of the accounts I represent. And so I really enjoy, because I would say that doing this has to me two has ticked on two passions. One is promoting my country, of course, which is at the heart of what I do. And the other one is I've always had a dream of being a tourist tour guide. Well, that's as we say in Mexico, sueño guajiro. So it's a dream that probably I will never do.
It's not a dream, don't worry, Polo. You can invite us. You can invite us, and you can be our tourist guide. And of course, I think so that, well, Gabriel, neither Gina, Whitney, or Roger, they are going to complain if you want to guide us around all the places that we have seen. Actually, we can make the show from there.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. We can do it from there. So it's not a problem.
Well, at least I have this image. That's the only thing I could find. But no, I'd like to invite everyone to Riviera Nayarit, really, to discover this kind of hidden gem on the Pacific coast. It's very reachable, and it's really authentic. It's a really authentic. There is no doubt that you are in Mexico. There is no doubt that you are in the Pacific coast. There is no doubt that you are in the state of Nayarit, because I don't know, probably we don't have much time, but I forgot to mention there's a very important presence of Huichol people in the area, which is these people in the north part of Mexico that have very beautiful dresses, very interesting view on the cosmos and on the place of human in the earth, which is, I think, very important at the moment. So it's a beautiful destination. It's really, it feels remote. It's not remote. It feels like a last frontier, very explorer, very Pacific coast. So yeah, welcome, come. And yeah, as I said, it's very, there are direct flights from the UK and from Europe as well, very speedy connections to Mexico City. So yeah, you're all welcome.
Well, also, you were talking something interesting when you touched the point about Huicholes, and because, well, we know that there's like this kind of groups that we have from original or ethnical groups that we have from there, that also they have a lot of handicraft, that is very, very nice, or the jewelry that they are producing, that, well, it's very beautiful. And it's interesting because I think so in our next segment, I think so Whitney has prepared something regarding to that part. I don't know, and don't look at me in that way, Whitney, but I think so. You told me that, so now I'm spoiling you because you're spoiling me all the time the things that I'm going to say. So, but well, actually, Polo is like, it's a pleasure for us to be here. I think so, Riviera Nayarit, and well, I think so, like, well, for example, Marcela Gutierrez, of course, well, she's saying first, like, well, Gina Vega is a great, successful story here in the UK. And also she's saying that hopefully we can meet all of us there in the Riviera Nayarit. And Ramona, she's saying, whoa, looks amazing. Linda Adamson, she's saying, thank you, Latin American team. And all your wonderful guests tonight. I will be adding Mexico to my list of countries to visit. Yes, of course, the problem is going to be which place of Mexico you are going to choose, or you are going to spend a lot of time in Mexico. But Riviera Nayarit, of course, and Isla Marietas, everything is like, well, I think São Paulo described this paradise that, well, of course, has to be maybe the next destination that people, they have to put in their notebooks. And of course, thank you very much for all people that they are watching us. Thank you very much. Give us your commentaries. Let us know from where you're watching us. Also, I know Alejandra Martinez, also she sent a message. Now I cannot see all the different commentaries here, but thank you very much. Gary Dancy, our friend at Bijit. Thank you very much to all of you for continuing watching us. And thank you very much, Polo, for being here. So, well, it's like now, we have the last segment of this show that, well, is like we are going to talk a little bit about Spanish lessons. So, well, it's like, let's see what Whitney has for us. So, Whitney, over you.
Oh gosh. Okay. Lots of build up to this. Actually, okay, it's interesting. Enrique says I'm giving Spanish lessons. Surprise, I'm not tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about obviously Mexico, but one of the indigenous languages, Nahuatl, or Nahuatl, as we say, in English, some of us. So obviously we learned from the gala that Mexico is more than just, you know, mariachi, tequila, salsa. We've learned so much in the last few episodes. And when we first caught glimpses of those episodes, like in the first one, the gala, and tonight. So we've revisited Mexico, and there's a lot of reasons why. On our last episode, I talked about, as we say, Nahuatl language for a brief second. But I'd like to dive into this tonight because this language has not only influenced the Spanish language, but the English language as well. So first, let's get into what it is. I'm just gonna move my screen. Okay, so perfect. So this is a Euro-Aztecan language spoken by about, and the numbers fluctuate, but around 1.5 million people in Mexico. And the majority of these speakers live all over Mexico, part of which is in central Mexico, such as Puebla, Veracruz, Hidalgo, San Luis Potosí, La Ciudad de Mexico, Oaxaca, Morelos, a bunch of places. And there's smaller numbers of Nahuatl speakers throughout the rest of Mexico and even in parts of the US. So there are a number of dialects in Nahuatl, just like in any language, and most Nahuatl speakers also speak Spanish, except for maybe some of the elderly. And classical Nahuatl was the language of the Aztec Empire and was used much of Mesoamerica from the 7th century AD until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century. The modern dialects are spoken in the Valley of Mexico, closest to classical Nahuatl, and we have the modern, which is what's used more today. And last episode, we talked about all the contributions of the Mayans to the world in the forms of cultivation and then inventions. And here's a brief review of what we covered in the gala. So if you didn't go, well, now you're going to get a little bit of a refresher. So first thing is, a lot of people think tomatoes do not come from Mexico, but they do, tomates, or tomato, as you would say. And interestingly enough, the Aztecs had two different kinds of words for them, but tomato is one of the more like common ones. And it actually has influenced the way that in Mexico, instead of tomate, so you could also say like jitomate. And then, of course, we have my personal favorite, chocolate, chocolate. And there are many different theories about the origin of the word, but one of the most likely is that it took two of the words that mean bitter water and they formed it into chocolatu, which is the way you say it in Nahuatl. And as you can see, the X makes a sh sound, an SH sound. So even the word like Mexico in Nahuatl would be like Mexico. And also when a word ends in TL, they're often silent and not pronounced. But I believe in English, we do pronounce that. So, and then of course, just a few more, aguacate. So the word avocado, or in Spanish is aguacate, actually comes from the Nahuatl word ahuaca. And my pronunciation might be a bit off because I'm not a Nahuatl speaker, but I'm really interested in learning about indigenous languages and their importance. And we're gonna get into that in a minute. And then the last one on this slide, chili comes straight from the Nahuatl word, or chile comes from chili, which means hot pepper. And it's had various variants, and it entered into English through Spanish in the mid 1600s. So it has had impact on the English language. And then a few more. Cacahuetes, or cacahuat, is related to the Spanish language, taken from the Nahuatl word for peanut, or cacahuate in Mexico, cacahuete in many other Spanish-speaking countries. Although I know in other countries they might say mani, for example, in Cuba. And the word cacahuat actually means cocoa bean, and the Aztecs would usually refer to peanuts by calling them earth cocoa beans. And then a couple more. Okay. Papalo is for the word papalotes, which are kites, and that is another word. And this slide is new. I didn't talk about this the last time we had our episode on Mexico. And our last one, okay, I tried finding a way how to say this. I think it's something like tianguis is a flea market, and it comes from the Nahuatl word. I believe it's like tianquitzi, something like that. And tianguis is embedded in Mexican everyday culture. And contrary to the European conception of what we would define it in English as a flea market, el tianguis is a daily marketplace where you can find anything from fresh produce to like really good street food. And Nahuatl is one of just many indigenous languages. But like I said, it's one of many. And in fact, the government recognizes around, and these numbers have fluctuated, 68 national languages, 63 of which are indigenous, including 350 dialects of those languages. And Nahuatl is definitely in the top 10 as far as most spoken. And many people assume that Spanish is the only language spoken in most of Latin America, but it's not. And while it's a predominant language, there is a constant debate in the Latin community about teaching these indigenous languages in schools so that they don't disappear. And tonight I only provided just a few examples of one of the most important indigenous languages, and there are many more which I'll share in a later episode. But they play such an important role, not just in Mexico, but like I said, all over Latin America. I mean, when we talked about Paraguay, when we talked about Guarani, that's a language that lives on and doesn't just live on, but recognized as the national, or I would say like official language next to Spanish in Paraguay. So I'm going to keep coming back to this. If you're interested more about these languages, a really good reference for you would be the movie Roma, because you can hear some of the indigenous languages there too, which I highly recommend. But moving on to your favorite segment, and the only segment in Spanish tonight, is Heard on the Street. So, okay, the first word I hear like 100 million times every time Roger and Enrique speak to each other because they're good friends.
That's the favorite section.
I know. I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't put this in the first episode, but I was, still getting the lay of the land.
No, it's because in the first episode we needed followers, so carry on.
That's true. Yeah, you can't give everything away. Okay, so way. I don't use it, but I've heard it used like all the time. And it means like someone who's like a friend, or I guess in the British term would be like mate. And then cuate, this also means friend. And weirdly enough, this word comes from Nahuatl, which is coat, which means snake or serpiente. But in slang, I was surprised too. I looked that up and I thought, oh, okay. But it's another way of saying like un amigo or un amigo íntimo. And then chido or chida, you know me, if you've been following these episodes, you know that I love to find any word for cool or awesome. We've heard bacán, chévere, guay, tuani last episode. Chido, chida could be cool or awesome. Another one, padre, padrísimo. Okay, so I have to teach a couple things here. Padre means like literally means like father, right? Or parent. But it also, in this case, means cool. So if you want to say padre, that means cool. But padrísimo, okay. So whenever we add ísimo to the end of an adjective, okay, or ísima, we're adding emphasis to the adjective to mean really or extremely. So for example, last week when I was talking about surfing in Nicaragua, one of the expressions I used about the waves, las olas, or as we would say, las ondas, and that's another expression. We talked about que onda, was like, están buenas or están buenísimas. So están buenas in this case means they're like las ondas, they're good, but están buenísimas, they're really good. So same thing here with padre. So padre in slang means cool, but padrísimo means really cool. So that's how you get your emphasis.
And actually, Whitney, if you add more CC,
yes, I know. Yeah,
it's extremely good. Yeah, that should be like, wow.
Except that's a little bit more advanced, Enrique. So we're not there.
No, I know. I'm just saying that. Well, if you add more, it means like it's.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Sí. Yeah. Padricísimo.
The next one is the opposite.
Okay. So wait, what's the next one again? Hasta la madre. So I added this in last minute today because I thought, okay, madre, it'd be really fun to just add the madre expression in. So madre means mother. Okay, remember padre means father or parent. I know, like it's always masculine, one indeco masculine. But if I were to say hasta la madre, and I'm a teacher, so I've used this expression like multiple times, find different ways to use this expression. Estoy harta, estoy cansada, y estoy hasta la madre. So that means like, si estás hasta la madre, it means like you're sick of something. That it's pretty.
No,
it's like really, yeah.
It's the next level.
Oh, it's the next level. Yeah. But again, when you're in education, there are levels you need to. So if I were to be like, estoy harta, estoy hasta la madre, and it's estar because our emotions are.
Whitney.
Yes.
This expression, the teachers they tell them alone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you got to be careful whether you're using that expression because also you cannot say to your boss or something that kind of
No,
thing.
no, no,
Like
no.
maybe you are going to
No,
think
puedes pensarlo, pero no
yeah.
se puede. Yeah.
With your friends, of course, you can say it. Yeah, and it depends the situation. Yeah, it's important just to highlight that part because people that they are watching us don't use it like a normal thing because it's not a good thing.
No. I'm not saying like it's normal, but it's an expression that you will hear. And obviously, like you said, if it's something that you're going to say with your friends, well, that makes it slang, right? Because it's something that you probably wouldn't say to your boss, or at least like in a work situation, you don't want too many witnesses. But anyway,
Friends, be careful when they say something like that.
I don't use it that often because it's pretty strong, but you know, tone is everything and context is everything. So if you want to go one next level up from estar harto de o estar cansado de, to be tired of, sick of something or someone, estoy hasta la madre. It is strong, but it's a good one. I like it.
It's around Thursday or Friday.
No, para mí lunes, la primera hora. Yeah. Okay, last few. Guys, you were the worst students. You guys have to mute your microphone.
You have to be like Gina or Gabriel or Polo that well they are paying attention. Also, I think so they are taking notes and everything.
Taking notes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very well behaved and everything, just watching and yes, learning. Yeah.
Guys, Roger and Enrique, take notes. Okay. So last few. Sale is like another way of saying like okay, cool, or vale. It's similar to vale in España or dale in otros países. And then you have neta. So neta or la neta can be used in a couple different ways. So it means, okay, so it's common word amongst younger people. And again, similar to a lot of these, it's used in formal situations, like with friends. So there are two ways you can say this. The truth, like la verdad. So for example, being a teacher, my first thought in my head is, la neta es que yo no hice la tarea. Okay, if a student's like, la neta es que no hice la tarea. The truth is, I didn't do the homework. All right. As a teacher, or me, before I get to the estoy hasta la madre part, I might say, neta, right? Like, really? Seriously? So in many other countries, other words, verdad might be one of them. And so that's one. Okay, last two.
And actually, that one is like, as Gabriel is saying. And well, I think so they are like two things because, well, for us as Mexican, is the truth, la neta, and la neta del planeta, that is like the neta of the planet.
That's too advanced. That's too advanced.
It's the real truth. So it's like or it could be like the best thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm just going with like normal stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go quickly so no one else can interrupt me. Like, put your
Okay. I'm gonna put the mute.
Chelo and chela. Last week we learned a word like several times in Nicaraguan slang, similar to this one, chele, which is leche backwards, and leche is milk, so it's used to describe a fair-skinned person in Nicaragua. And similar to chelo, chel is a Mayan word that means blue. So chelo in Mexico often refers to something kind of similar, like fair skin, blue eyes. And then last one on a chela o cheve is a beer, which unfortunately this picture got cut off, but you know me, I like to use like las polas, las birrias, all the different slangs for that. And before I get cut off again, that's it for tonight. And if you have any questions, you can write to me or join my site, makingspanishsimple.com, where I will post all these videos of the show and much more information regarding reading, listening, speaking, grammar, vocab, and a documented catalog of all the episodes on the show. And
thank you very much, Whitney. Also, it's interesting. What are you saying? Because you know what? It depends, for example, chela y cheve, it depends the region of the country. And also sometimes the different kind of slang that we use represent the age that you have. Because, well, I don't know, I'm from Mexico City, so I will use chela. But I'm pretty sure that maybe my uncles, they will use una cheve. And that means like, it's like, if I use that one, people from my age, they are going to look at me like weird, like why you're using that slang that is an old one. However, in some parts of the country, they use it very frequently. In no part of the country, cheve, it's very popular to use it. But yeah, it's...
Yeah, and age plays a part of it, like generational gap plays a part of it, which is practically the same thing. Dialects, areas. I mean, there's some slang that I say in my hometown just in English that no one else says. Like for soda, we use the word pop, and no one gets it. Like no one understands it. So it's just, it varies from age, from region, from everything. So it's similar. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, and also I think that we have a lot of words that, well, maybe we need a complete entire program to talk about maybe 2 or 3 words that different meanings. It depends the situation, and it's exactly the same word.
Yeah. We can do that. We'll do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then everyone
That's what we
give me their opinion.
Yeah, but normally, like, there are a lot of bad things included there, so we have to be aware about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what to avoid where, because there's some things you just can't.
Because,
say.
for example, as you said, and you use the term mother, saying hasta la madre, that is like, okay, well, I'm pissed off of this, no? But on the other side, you can say está a toda madre,
say it alone,
or it's like está toda madre. That means it's like this. Wow, it's just incredible. So
it's Friday.
Or well, a todas margaritas, because Gabriel, it's more appropriate the way that he's saying. So it's like producing this slang that is a little bit like dodgy in a nice way, saying a todas margaritas. That, well, of course, if you translate that in English, it doesn't make any sense. But
No.
Gabriel, do you have any word, any specific? Do you like for the teacher?
Yeah, if you want to soften some of the expressions to be able to tell your boss, you could say hasta el gorro, which is muy fresa. Yeah. Hasta el gorro, which is up to my hat.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah. I don't use hasta la madre that, often, but I have seen it quite. I think it more than I say it. But it is an expression that is out there. It is something that I've heard and read in more informal situations. And I just thought, you know what, I'm talking about Padre Padrissimo. Let's just throw this one in. So why not?
Yeah, I think the key thing is that unfortunately a lot of the positive connotations are associated to the father, a lot of the negative to the mother. Yeah. But a toda madre is a positive connotation.
Yeah, that's a good, I didn't even think of it like that. And as a woman, I should, but that's a really
It depends, Whitney, it depends. If you say it nicely, it's in a good way. But if you say it straight, it's another way.
And it depends if you are saying to your friends or to another person. Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with English too. Like you can, it's all about tone and words. So it's the same exact thing in English, especially in an American system. It's all about the tone you use and the way you like word things around. Hasta la madre is totally the un-American way as far as like education. We're kind of soft and nice and we sugarcoat. And some of these words are a little more.
I like what she said. Sugarcoat. Is it like nicely? Yeah. Gina, you're so quiet. Gina, you have any words?
No, that can be shared.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, well, of course, I love that hasta la madre, but. Unfortunately, there are many that are amazing words, as Enrique says, that have like 10 different ways or signify 10 different things, and it's the same word. But they wouldn't be appropriate for this program. I don't think.
No, that's fine. Yeah, hasta la madre is like one of the ones that pushes like the envelope. But yeah, there's a ton of expressions.
It's okay still to say.
No, it's still okay, totally. But I agree. Like, there's a lot of slang that I look up and I'm like, nope, can't say that. Or if in one program I'll say one word that I know can be really, really inappropriate in another country. I definitely we always let the audience know only in this country.
The very old-fashioned way of saying that, proper old Spanish, would be hasta el comino.
Oh my God, Gabriel! I think that you are also highlighting the part that I say that. Well, it's about ages. There, it's like
that's like great grandparents. But something I wanted to say about your intervention on indigenous languages. Mm-hmm. And diversity. A couple of decades ago, when I was in my early teens, of course, I remember traveling through Paraguay, and I made a stop, and there was a community of Mennonites, or traditionally they speak a dialect of German, they were drinking mate and switching between their Germanic language and Guarani and Spanish. Isn't that amazing?
Cool. I mean, I just think it's so amazing, and very few people know that Guarani is actually an official language in Paraguay. I mean, outside the Latin American community.
And also, it's not that it's an indigenous language that non-indigenous people are not embarrassed about.
But yeah, exactly. And they're trying to make it more as an official second language, like documents in it, dictionaries in it. So they're actually like, we're in a lot of places, they don't preserve languages as much, or they don't educate them in schools. I feel like Paraguay is like a very like different, and just because you mentioned Guarani as like where they're pushing it, not against all countries, but it's just very exceptional. And the same, yes.
Sorry, I just want to say something that I found also incredible when I came here to the UK. I don't know why a lot of people tend to think that the English people can be a little bit more serious, and they may not take a joke. But I found that completely to be the opposite, because in Mexico, we do all the albures. We albureamos, that is basically it's the double sense of the words. And I find that English people have that same sense of humor. They take it the double edge of the words or the sentences, and I think that is something that we have in common, and not a lot of people know that until you live in the UK and you actually socialize with English people.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. They love this kind of innuendo or double entendre that there's like, of course, just finding another connotation of the words.
And sometimes I feel like, and I'm in education, and so it's like a little different, but it's very careful. You have to be careful in the American sense, in a lot of your surroundings. And I kind of find that refreshing that we have in the British culture, that you can there's more of a humor to it. I think life's too short to be serious all the time. So I think
I think in Mexico, like with the British, where we can be a bit cruel, but in a funny way, dark in our sense of humor. So not everybody understands it, but I think sometimes there's something there in common.
That's correct. And well, I have here from Yvonne Velasquez, what she said, Whitney, great to hear the origin or the etymology of many common Spanish words that they are coming from Nahuatl language. And of course, our friend Susana Ceballos, she's saying a very interesting program, and thank you very much for showing us this part of Mexico. Well, she's sending greetings to Gina, and well, she's very proud of your success also. So I think so. We're at the end of the show. Whitney, spoil my part, please.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Come on, Whitney, do it.
Okay, yeah, fine. Bolivia next week, so stay tuned.
Excellent, Whitney. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, I would like to say thank you very much to Gabriel, to Gina, to Polo for being tonight with us, showing us the part of being an entrepreneur in different activities, in different ways, and also being proud of being Mexicans here in the UK, representing Mexico in the UK. And of course, congratulations, Gina, for all your awards, and Polo for all your successful career. And also, well, hopefully after this lockdown, we can visit Riviera Maya and we can travel around Mexico. That is a fantastic place, and you have to invite us. And Gabriel, thank you very much also, and well, congratulations, because well, since last year you're the chairman, so you have a difficult task now at this time. I think it's very difficult in general, and he disappeared. I think so. That's the reason why it was very difficult. Yeah, no, I know that he's there. But yeah, I know that, well, you have a difficult challenge, but well, it's congratulations for being the chairman of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce. Taking the leadership of this great team, as well as Gina's talk about the teams is the most important part. So thank you very much for the three of you for being here in this show tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And well, thank you very much to everyone to watching us. Roger Alarcon.
Well, it's been an amazing show tonight. Just remember, next week we have Bolivia. And if you miss any part of this show, we're going to have it in YouTube in just around 20 minutes. And well, thank you again to our successful guests. So see you next week.
Thank you, my dear Roger. Whitney Nuchereno.
Oh, okay. I get to spoil some more things. Actually, Bolivia next week, looking forward to it. And definitely going back to a little bit more Spanish than any indigenous language. So don't worry. And I will see you next week.
Excellent, Whitney. And well, remember that, well, we're going to have this fantastic contest that is going to be for Katrina and Katrina for the second, well, the 27th of October, that we're going to talk about the Day of the Dead here in the show. So we're going to put all the information here in the Latin America show page. So please follow us. And well, my name is Enrique Gelista. Remember that the Latin America show is every Tuesday, 8 o'clock London time. Thank you very much and see you next week. Thank you.